But do you think gay men have a higher tendency towards being pedophiles?
Well, that's a good conversation to have.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because I think statistically, if you look at it, not that they're higher percentage-wise as a group, but this is something that doesn't get discussed as often within the community, the level of abuse. So there are different statistics, right? There's, and I've actually brought this conversation up with other YouTubers, and they just refuse to address it. So I do appreciate you having this conversation here.
I'm not.
So there are different statistics that show that men, who like minors specifically, they end up, there's a higher level of abuse that happens, right? And for example, I think what was there's one statistic specifically that I cited that's kind of escaping my head right now, but as far as arrested and convicted pedophiles who identify as gay, they had, I think, 3 times the amount of victims, right?
And you're willing to give a child to a couple that's more likely to molest them?
I mean, that's kind of a broad generalization that you're making now, and you're like equating 2 different things.
You say gay men are more likely to be pedophiles.
That's actually going with the assumption that you just made about gay men being pedophiles. I'm citing convicted. I'm citing people who are convicted who had that higher number. I'm not actually saying all gay men are like this.
Oh, I didn't say that.
I mean but that's the implication behind your question.
No, more. You're saying per capita, gay men are more likely to abuse children per capita.
I think that's as far as the convicted ones.
Right.
Yes.
Well,
convicted.
Why would you analyze? But per capita.
Well, if you look, they're also smaller set of the population, right?
Per capita, you know what that is?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter about subset or convicted. I'm just saying, as a percentage of the population, they're more likely to abuse a child.
You're stating that?
I'm asking you. Statistically, that's what you believe.
That's not what I believe. That's just that's a fact. What you stated is a fact.
So then you believe it?
If it's a fact, yes. It's something that's a fact.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we're splitting hairs here. So you think it's okay to give a child to people who are more likely to abuse them?
You're assuming that every gay man is a pedophile.
I'm not. I'm saying it's a percentage game per capita.
Okay, but in that question, there's an assumption.
No.
Yeah, there is.
It's
that they'll likely be placed with a pedophile. I mean, look, let's be real for a second. If you have a suspicion that somebody's going to be a pedophile, you're not going to give them a child, right? So that's just period.
Well, obviously.
Now, if you're saying that there's a higher percentage of gay men,
I feel like let's just cut through the bullshit. I feel like in your perfect world, gay men would not be allowed to adopt a child. In your perfect world.
In my perfect world? I mean, like I said, as a politician, if it's the will of the people, then it's the will of the people.
I'm not talking about, I'm saying in your perfect world.
You're saying if I were just inflicting my will on the people, that I would
in your perfect world, you know what that means?
Yeah. Well, the world is imperfect. That's a fallen world.
Oh,
we live in a fallen world. I mean, I'm trying to have a conversation.
No, you're not.
Creating scenarios and hypotheticals that are unreal, and you're also like loading it into like an assumption about what I'm going to say.
I'm trying.
That's really what's happening.
No, but this is, especially in like religious and conservative circles, a very normal conversation. Like I feel like if you were having a private conversation with one of your like-minded individuals, you would not be giving the same political answers. You'd be much more straightforward about. In your perfect world, not considering the will of the people, not considering the law, would it be okay for 2 gay guys to adopt a child? You're not answering.
Wait, but you said 3 different things in there.
In your perfect world.
So you want to go with a hypothetical?
Yeah, I mean, you're not the emperor of the world, right?
I know, I'm not the emperor of the world. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. It's not. There's no perfect world. It's a fallen world.
Bruh.
It's the nature of the world.
This is already exhausting.
What do you mean? I'm being straightforward with you.
I feel like anyone watching knows you're being evasive, but that's okay.
I'm not being evasive. I'm being direct with you. I am. You're creating a hypothetical to try to get me on something that isn't even you're based on an assumption of what you think.
As a politician, isn't it your job to work towards improving the world to your perfect world? If you're just a surrogate, hold on. If you're just a surrogate of the people you represent, what's the point?
what's the point then of democracy?
Well, are you not looking to
I'm
enact
a representative.
Change? You don't
change how? What sort? Who defines what change is? I'm there to represent the people in my district.
Here's the data. Sure. According to multiple peer-reviewed studies and large surveys, gay and bisexual men report significantly higher rates of childhood sexual abuse than heterosexual men. In the general male population, approximately 5 to 10% of men report experiencing childhood sexual abuse. By contrast, studies of gay and bisexual men consistently report much higher rates. According to a 2009 study of gay and bisexual men, approximately 20% reported a history of severe childhood sexual abuse, defined as contact abuse before the age of 18. Larger survey.
You can't react to your own clip and be like, "Yo, that guy, that's crazy." If it's true.
No, I'm remembering that this clip is from what, 7 months ago, or when is it?
3 weeks ago, brother. You're fucking How can we trust you to represent us when you can't tell the difference between 7 months and 3 weeks?
Well, because the initial video I made was 7 months ago, and then I made a follow-up 3 weeks ago.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, this conversation's been going on for a while, but this data is not shocking. You don't hear this stuff, and you're not like, oh my God, this is crazy. You're not.
Well,
really?
There's two things. I haven't looked at the study, right? Because obviously a lot of studies are influenced one way or the other. Mm-hmm. But just operating on the assumption that it's true, that gay children are more likely to be victims, that it's very sad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
And I think
it's probably, well, so why do you think that is?
Why do I think it's sad?
No, bro, stop. Why do you think gay children are more likely to be abused?
I don't know. That's a good question, actually.
Let's see if you have an opinion.
Analysis, including data referenced by the CDC's National Intimate Partner and Sexual Violence Survey, show that childhood sexual abuse rates among gay and bisexual men are roughly 2 to 5 times higher than among heterosexual men. To put that into concrete terms, folks, heterosexual men report childhood sexual abuse at around 5 to 10%, while gay and bisexual men report rates commonly ranging between 20 to 40%, with some studies reaching as high as approximately 46% in specific clinical or community samples. And that raises a question that is almost never allowed to be asked. Who is abusing these boys? And why is this pattern treated as untouchable? According to research...
So you raised the question, so answer your own question.
Yeah, my whole point, and that's why I brought that up, and it's funny that you brought up James Charles as well, because it ties into that. Because my whole point with these videos, it's not to indict the gay community. It's actually to say, hey, this is happening in your community, but a lot of your predators are just going around like James Charles, right? People who literally confess to this kind of stuff, and there's zero consequences.
What does that have to? But you're talking about like statistically, gay men are more likely.
Yeah, I'm bringing up the data
to have been abused and also to abuse.
I'm bringing up the data because it's a conversation that, for some reason, is a taboo. You're not allowed to have it.
We're having it right now, and you're the one.
He didn't want to have
You're the one cowardly not telling your opinion, and I'm trying to have that conversation.
My opinion is right there. My opinion is that this is awful. This shouldn't be happening, and we have to bring attention to it.
So your stance is you want to protect gay children.
I want to protect children, period. I want to protect people. I want to protect victims, not just children. They're also, the people who are victims of rape, victims of every sort of crime. I mean, there are people that are being victimized by our county right now. Like today, when I was leaving my office, there were 2 people smoking crack a block away from a school, like right outside the door of my office. Those are people that are first of all, they're probably going to be arrested because you can't do that a block away from a school. And second, these are people that are being victimized.
You can't do that anywhere, technically.
Yeah, but they really only enforce it around a school.
Yeah.
Those are people who have been victimized and just fell through the cracks, right? They've been victimized by the system. So
why do you think that gay men or gay children are more likely to be abused? Because you bring it up like it's something that needs to be analyzed.
Research cited by Psychiatry Online, a study of 377 non-incarcerated pedophiles found that offenders classified as homosexual pedophiles, meaning they preferred male children, young boys, reported abusing an average of 150 children each, compared to an average of 20 victims among heterosexual pedophiles.
That's also awful, by the way. The heterosexual numbers are also awful.
Yeah, but yeah, right. But the emphasis is that gay dudes do it more.
Yeah, because there's no conversation around it. That's
Let's
why
have
I
the
believe-
conversation.
Yeah, well, we're having it
But
now.
it's not a
We're bringing
conversation
attention
just to
it.
cite the statistics. Why do we cite the statistics? What is the
We
point,
cite
overall
to
point that
say
you're
that
driving?
the-
What do we extrapolate? You do studies and you get statistics so you can extrapolate meaning from it.
Yeah.
So what's the
I mean,
extrapolation?
the extrapolation is, why is Brian Singer not in prison? Why is James Charles not in prison? Why are these guys who are powerful gay men and influential, in our
So you think
town
gay dudes
specifically?
Gay pedophiles are getting a pass.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. That's the point in that conversation. There's no conversation around it, right? It took 7 months. The first video I made responding to Adam was 7 months ago. This was 3 weeks ago because it took him 7 months to respond, and now we're talking about it here. So it'll force this conversation, even further, which I appreciate. Again, it's and by the way, I do want to cite this. This isn't to just say that all gay men are pedophiles. That's not the point in this conversation. It's just to bring light how big the issue is and how it goes unaddressed because there's a concerted effort to protect this class of people.
Why is that?
Because they're very powerful.
The gays?
Yeah, gay men in Hollywood are very powerful. Like Bryan Singer's powerful, right?
I mean, no, he's disgraced now. He's definitely disgraced now. He's not powerful now.
James Charles?
James Charles is not powerful. I mean, again, also disgraced.
I mean, you were just talking about Shane Dawson too earlier.
Also disgraced.
I mean, but they're still going around. They're not in prison. They're not seeing consequences, and they're being allowed to continue using their platforms and make big videos, make money. So, there obviously there's several other people who have, not to draw an equivalence here, but there's several. If they were straight, they would have likely lost everything.
I think the occurrence of abuse is probably consistent among men predators. I think the only difference is, for example, gay men who are pedophiles have more access, right? Because they're going to be around.
That's true. They do, because bathrooms. That's a fair point. Because of that access,
So
that means it's even more dangerous. The fact that we don't talk about it because there's no
What do
preventative.
you want to do?
No
But I don't
deterrence.
understand. You want to talk about it. You don't want to say anything.
What do you mean?
What do you want to do? We're talking about it. What
Yeah.
do we do?
We're talking. This is great. We're bringing up now
What do we
scenarios
do?
in the ways. What do we do? I mean, we hold people accountable. We do what you're doing, which is putting your money out there to educate people that this guy is walking around. This guy who confessed to 2 separate cases, right? As young as 14, trying to fly out a 14-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
This guy shouldn't be platformed.
Well, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. James Charles, by the way, that's who we're talking about. I just want to make sure.
I'll make
Said this guy.
Everybody's going to know
Yeah.
on Friday who I'm talking about.